When you see Hades in movies, video games, or cartoons, how is he portrayed? Usually, he is shown as a villain. A demonic figure with fire in his eyes, plotting to overthrow Olympus, screaming in rage, and acting like the absolute embodiment of evil. We equate him with the devil. We assume that because he rules the underworld, he must be malicious, cruel, and hungry for destruction. But history tells a very different story. The truth is, Hollywood has lied to you. In the original Greek myths, Hades was not a villain. He was not a demon. In fact, compared to his brothers Zeus and Poseidon, Hades was arguably the most decent, fair, and reliable god in the entire pantheon. Today, we are going into the dark depths of the underworld to clear the name of the most misunderstood god in history. To understand Hades, we first have to understand how he got his job. It wasn't because he was evil or because he was punished. After the great war against the Titans, the three victorious brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, decided to divide the world among themselves. They didn't fight for it, they simply drew lots. It was a game of chance. Zeus got the sky, Poseidon got the sea, and Hades drew the short straw. He was stuck with the underworld. He didn't choose the darkness, it was assigned to him. And unlike the other gods who often abandoned their duties to chase mortal women or cause chaos, Hades went to his realm and did his job. It is crucial to clarify a major misconception here: Hades is not death itself. In Greek mythology, there is a specific god of death named Thanatos. Thanatos is the Grim Reaper, he is the one who comes to take your soul when your time is up. Hades does not kill people. He does not decide when you die. He is simply the king who welcomes you when you arrive. Blaming Hades for death is like blaming the hotel manager for your vacation ending. He didn't end your trip, he just runs the place where you stay. But what exactly does his realm look like? It is not just a cave of fire like the Christian hell. Hades created a complex geography of the afterlife. There are 5 rivers that surround his kingdom, the most famous being the river Styx, the river of hatred, and the river Lethe, the river of forgetfulness. When souls arrived, they weren't just thrown into a pit. Hades established a geography of justice. The heroes and the virtuous were sent to the Elysian fields, a paradise of eternal sunlight and music. The average souls, who did nothing great but nothing evil, wandered in the asphodel meadows. And only the truly wicked, kings who killed their children or betrayed the gods, were sent to Tartarus. This proves that Hades was not a torturer of all humanity, he was a cosmic judge who believed in merit. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the kidnapping of Persephone. This is the story most people use to paint Hades as a villain. And yes, by modern standards, snatching someone is a terrible crime. But in the context of Greek mythology, the story is more complex. Hades actually went to Zeus, Persephone's father, and asked for permission to marry her. In ancient Greek society, the father had the right to arrange the marriage. Zeus gave his blessing. So, technically, Hades followed the rules. And once they were married, Hades was surprisingly faithful. While Zeus was cheating on his wife Hera with literally hundreds of women, mortals, and nymphs, Hades remained loyal to Persephone. He treated her as an equal. She wasn't just his wife, she was the queen of the underworld. Her name was spoken with as much fear and respect as his. Another detail that movies often ignore is Hades' powerful weapon. We all know Zeus has his lightning bolt and Poseidon has his trident. But Hades possesses the Helm of Darkness. This is a helmet forged by the Cyclopes that grants the wearer perfect invisibility. It is so powerful that even other gods cannot see him when he wears it. In the great war against the Titans, it wasn't Zeus's lightning that won the battle alone. It was Hades, using his helmet to sneak into the Titan camp and destroy their weapons while they slept. Without Hades and his stealth, the Olympians might have lost the war. Yet, he never bragged about it. He returned his weapon to the shadows, just like himself. We also need to address the Disney movie, Hercules. In that movie, Hades tries to kill his nephew Hercules. But in the actual myths, Hades actually helped him. When Hercules had to capture the three-headed dog Cerberus as one of his 12 labors, he went to the underworld and asked Hades for permission. Hades didn't attack him. He didn't send monsters after him. He simply said, "You can take the dog, just please don't hurt him, and bring him back when you are done." He was a reasonable uncle. He respected Hercules' strength and let him complete his quest. However, Hades wasn't just a bureaucrat. He also had a heart, and nothing proves this more than the tragic story of Orpheus and Eurydice. When the musician Orpheus came to the underworld alive to beg for the return of his dead wife, he played a song so sad and so beautiful that the entire underworld stopped. The Furies wept. The wheel of torture stopped spinning. And Hades? The cold, unfeeling king of the dead actually cried. Moved by the power of love and art, he did something unprecedented. He allowed a soul to leave his kingdom. He gave Orpheus a chance. This is not the action of a villain. This is the action of a god who understands grief. But Hades could also be stern, especially when the balance of nature was threatened. There is a story about Asclepius, the first great doctor. Asclepius became so skilled at medicine that he started bringing people back from the dead. Hades was furious. Not because he wanted people to suffer, but because he knew that if no one died, the world would fall into chaos. Overpopulation and immortality would destroy the natural order. He complained to Zeus, not out of malice, but to protect the laws of nature. Hades understood that death is necessary for life to have meaning. He was the guardian of that hard truth. Also, consider his other name. The Greeks often called him Pluto, which means the wealthy one. Since he ruled underground, he owned all the gold, silver, and gemstones in the earth. He was the richest of all gods, yet he never used his wealth to bribe others or start wars. He mostly just stayed home. He is the classic introvert of the family. He doesn't want drama, he just wants to sit on his throne, pet his three-headed dog Cerberus, and make sure the paperwork for the dead is filed correctly. So why do we see him as the villain today? It is largely because of the influence of later cultures that equated the underworld with hell, and therefore, equated Hades with Satan. But they are not the same. Hades doesn't tempt humans to sin. He doesn't want your soul before its time. He is simply waiting for you at the end of the line. He is the quiet shadow behind the loud lightning of Zeus. In conclusion, if you had to choose a god to rule over you, who would you pick? The chaotic, cheating, thunder-throwing tyrant in the sky? Or the quiet, faithful, hardworking administrator of the deep? Hades might be the lord of the dead, but he is certainly not the bad guy.